you?
All right.
Happy to be back.
Happy to have
Been too
you.
long.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So Mira had a question. So Mira, if you want to unmute.
Yes, I'm unmute.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Julius?
Yes, I can.
So my question is, I use a laptop with Microsoft softwares,
Mm-hmm.
and I use all the features that Microsoft provides for security.
Sure.
But do I need additional like McAfee or something like that to add additional securities or VPN, which I don't use?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Mayor. I just had this question literally last week. It all depends on how you use the computer itself and the internet. One of the things I say is it's always better to be safer than just safe. So with Microsoft, from when I mean they've always had Microsoft Security Essentials, which is I think is really good at protecting your computer, and it comes for free. And they had Defender before. But sometimes you can pay a little bit more money to get something like a Norton or McAfee, and there's so many more out there. When it comes down to it, if you were to pay for something, Mira, and everybody else who's thinking about this, doesn't matter if you have a Mac or a PC. The only one that I personally like, and it's my subjective opinion by being in the industry for the last 10 years, I like a program called ESET. ESET. I normally talk about this in my cybersecurity classes in person or via Zoom. And it just adds a layer of protection. Now, the reason why I like it is not to say that any of those other programs may not work. I just don't like Norton is very advertising as well as McAfee to me, where they're always
Yes,
trying to upsell you for other stuff. So I just don't like
exactly.
that
That's why
part of
I'm
it.
asking you. Yes.
Yeah, so that's it. But ESET is kind of like, you install it on your computer. I think it costs like $10 more than what the normal ones cost. And literally it just I think it just functions better. And the people in which have ESET, I've seen it one time where someone ended up getting a virus or some malware, is that they completely agree to getting this thing on their computer. It won't stop it if you allow it, but the ESET gave ample warnings to them, and they still installed the stuff on their computer thinking it was something else. So with what you're using right now, could you get away with Microsoft Security Essentials or Defender? Absolutely. If you were to get ESET, I think it's just an added layer, and I don't think you need the VPN. A VPN is a virtual private network. It does offer more security. It just depends upon how you're using the internet, how you're on your computer.
So I use my computer to save my personal documents.
Okay.
That's about it. I don't use it. I don't have a company that I have to kind of, keep everything private and secure.
Sure, yeah. If you don't click on a lot of stuff, meaning like things that you don't know, or allow people to come into your computer that you don't know, I think it's fine. VPNs offer, again, an extra layer of security, but sometimes they can confuse people because when you do add a VPN, it could change your IP, and sometimes it could cause more problems for other things in your house if you don't know how to fully work it. So I don't want to tell you all to go and get a VPN. And then you say, well, Julius, man, now, this is not working. You told me to do this. It does offer that extra layer of security if you are doing something that you know how to work a VPN and, requires that VPN. But I think you can get away with just the standard protection of your computer. I set a lot of people up with that, as well as like the security on your Mac. If you have a Mac computer, Macs are pretty secure. But again, if I just let a burglar in my house and I welcome him in and offer him a muffin, I just welcomed him in my house. He just didn't break in because I have like bulletproof windows or whatever. you have to really just allow these guys to come into your computer and things of that nature. So just be as safe as you can. If you do choose one, I would go with ESET because they are one of the better ones out there that I've seen work.
Okay, so you just go on Google eset.com and
Yeah,
then
eset.com, and then you'll find their website. You can, read all their literature. You can talk to their customer service, but it's pretty simple to install. And then you can subscribe to it. And it's only, you can pay for about a year, every 2 years, every 3 years, however you want to subscribe to it.
okay. And when I download these kind of softwares where it's helping the computer, do I save those files into my computer drive or laptop drive? Or where should I exactly file these kind of things?
I mean, if you're doing some type of reporting and you're running scans and things of that nature, if you have one of these programs that's running it, they should have a history of you running these scans. You don't necessarily need to save the files there unless you really want them and you want to kind of go back and have that manual file that you can access right on your computer. But I don't think it's necessary.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
All right, Kevin, I see your question in the chat if you wanted to go ahead.
Yes, if you have, my mom sends me an email and it goes directly to junk mail. How do you stop that from happening?
That's Kevin, that's a great question. And even though the answer is simple, it's not that simple. Sometimes, depending upon the email, right? So think about it this way. Let's just say your mom's sending you a regular letter in the mail. And when she sends that letter from her address in Hawaii and you are in New York, the letter goes through the mailman and it's almost like the mailman thinks it's junk. So it puts it in a junk section of her mailbox, physical mailbox. What we tend to do, what we should do is then you can choose whether or not that message is junk or not. So if you have a Gmail, like Yahoo or AOL, any of those emails, you should have an option to say not spam, not junk. Those two are synonymous, right? And you could tell the email not to mark it as junk or spam. When you do that, what should happen, emphasis on the word should, and it's in all caps, it should automatically go right to your inbox going forward. Now, I have done that. I know people have done that, and then they hired us to come in to fix it. And the next step, when that wasn't happening, for whatever reason, it started to see that email as junk no matter what we told it at all, anytime. So what I had to do was set up it happened to, the most recent one happened to a husband and a wife. The husband's email continued to go on junk. We set up multiple things to get it into the inbox. What we had to do at the end of the day was set up a filter which said, hey, this email, Julius@nerdalert.com, anytime this email comes in, we set a filter up to automatically push it in the inbox or go into its own mailbox, because for whatever reason, the email itself was not allowing it, even though we followed their rules, allowed it to go into the inbox. So hopefully it's not that complicated, and you can just go and just click on that email and just, when you go into the junk mail or spam mail, you should be able to just say, this is not junk, this is not spam, move it to the inbox, and hopefully that should work. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome, Kevin.
All right, Helen, go ahead if you want to unmute.
Okay, hi, Julius.
Hey, Helen, how's it going?
Pretty good, thanks. And you?
Awesome. Everything's well, no complaints. Thank you.
Good. If you buy a new phone that's 5G capable, do you have to get a new SIM card?
No, you should not. Actually, only thing, I don't know, I doubt it even with Androids. I just did the same thing with my phone last year, and I was able to use the same SIM card. Basically, what the SIM card is, a lot of people think that things are being saved to the SIM card like it used to way back in the day. That is not the case. Things are not being saved to your SIM card. If you have an Android, it's probably being saved to a mini SD card. Or if you have an iPhone, it's not being saved to a mini SD card at all. It's just the storage itself and then going to the cloud. Now for you, Helen, when you get that new phone, what's 5G, the capability of 5G is built within the phone itself, and it doesn't live on that SIM card. So the antenna, the way in which it is built in a way so that it can see 5G towers versus just being reliant upon that SIM card. So you should not have to get a new SIM card if your phone is 5G capable.
Okay, that's good, because I have an iPhone, so if 5G is in the area, it should be able to pick it up.
Absolutely, and you could go into like your settings as well. In most cases, it's on by default, where it just says, 5G, so that when you're in an area, let's say you're driving through Montana or whatever, and you get no signal, you'll probably connect to like a 3G network because it's just so low. But then when you get to the city area where they have the 5G towers, you can go from 3G to 4G to LTE to 5G. So those phones can ride all those waves versus someone who has like an iPhone 10 can only go up to a LTE, but your phone is capable of connecting to that 5G.
So do I just have to go into settings in my iPhone and find where to make sure that it's the 5G is activated?
Yeah, so here I'll show you. Let me see if I could show you here. Cable. All right, give this a second, and I'm going to. There it is. All right, so in my settings here, this is my actual phone. The other phone I had does not have 5G. So when I go into settings, this is the first thing you should see on an iPhone. And then in cellular here, when you tap on cellular under Bluetooth,
right,
you should see cellular data options. So cellular data should be turned on, should be ticked green. And then my roaming is on. You always want to keep your roaming on. We're not paying for roaming anymore. If you are, you should leave that company immediately because roaming, everyone shares their towers now. So data roaming is on, and then voice and data, 5G auto. What that means is that if I just leave it on or put on LTE, it tells you right here, 5G on uses 5G whenever it is available, even when it may reduce battery life. 5G auto uses 5G only when it will not significantly reduce the battery life. I keep it on auto. To be honest, it's just, this is not like this true 5G network that will come in the future. This is just faster speeds on the devices, but they are making, the towers are out there, and there's some areas that are really super duper fast, crazy 5G. But this right here, I just leave it on auto. Data mode, allow more data on 5G, and I just leave it as it is. This is how my phone came, and I didn't change anything at all.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Julius.
All right, you're very welcome, Helen.
Okay, and we have Sharon. I see you have your hand up and you had a question in the chat. If you want to unmute about passwords, when I set up an account, Chrome chooses a complicated passwords on my laptop, but it doesn't automatically transfer to Chrome on my Samsung. Is that the question you had?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, wait, where's Sharon? I'm just looking for you, Sharon. I have a lot of faces on here. Okay, I see you. There you go. You're right in the middle. All right. So you said when you set up an account, Chrome chooses a complicated password on your laptop, but it doesn't automatically transfer over to the Chrome on my Samsung. So what needs to happen is, so if you're on Chrome, and I like Chrome for this purpose, It basically, when you have to sign into Chrome. So let me give you an idea. Let me open up. Let me share my screen here. All right, so you'll be able to see everything. So when I go to Chrome here, you all can see my screen, right? Has a website on there, Arts Garage. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So in here at the top right, if you look at these three dots right here, I just clicked on it. See the three dots to the top right? All right. So in settings, if you go down to settings right here, you should see if hopefully you are syncing, but you should be signed into Chrome. So if you're signed into Chrome here and then you have syncing turned on, it should say syncing to whatever email address that you have. In my case, this is my personal sync, so that it syncs everything, my bookmarks, my settings, my passwords, but I had to sign into Chrome in order to do so. It's easier if you have a Gmail account, but if you don't, you still can set up an account with Chrome, even if you have an AOL email address or a Yahoo email address or what have you. So the purpose of this is to kind of use your credentials as the glue. So if you're signed into here, then it will remember all your bookmarks, all your passwords, and everything will get to sync. Then on your phone, you would have to sign into that Chrome, same credentials, and then it will sync all those complicated passwords over there, if that makes sense.
Okay, now how do you sign into Chrome?
So right now, because I'm signed in, I'll sign out so you could see. So my sync is on. I'm signed into a lot of different accounts here. So let me actually sign in on here. Give me 1 second. Let me move this out of the way. So if I don't want to sign out all these accounts on here, because I'm signing some clients' accounts, business accounts. So let me go here. What we will do is go to Google. So in Google, if you are signed, I can sign out of all of these. And so normally, if you're not signed in, it will give you the option to sign in here. So when you click on sign in, then you would choose one of these different accounts. Like I have a bunch of different accounts here, but in your case, you should probably only see one. And if you don't see none at all, you could say use another account, and you can type in, any account that you have. And then once you go to sign in, then you'll be inside, and then that will marry to Google itself. If you don't have an account with Google to sign in, you would just create an account. And that's
Okay,
how you would go about it. Mm-hmm.
I have a Google account. So am I signing into my email when I do this?
Yes, essentially you're going to use that same password that you would sign in with your email, because Google, if you have a Gmail, it's the same password for Google, YouTube, Gmail, everything. So that same username, your email address, and your password will be your sign in for Google.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, you're very welcome.
Okay. And I see Penny, go ahead. You have your hand up. If you want to unmute.
Okay. I have a very low tech question. My laptop does not get very light on the screen. People can't see me very well, say in a class. And
Okay.
I've tried, I've moved the light button up as high as it'll go. And other than just putting on a lot of lights in the room, how else can I get that screen to be lighter?
So question about your question. You said that people can't see you. They see like it's kind of dark for them in the background.
Right.
So the lighting on your actual keyboard will be just to kind of make your screen brighter so that you can see whatever's on your screen.
Mhm.
Now, if they're having problems seeing you, as stupid as this sound, one, I would try to maybe clean your camera right up here on your laptop.
Okay.
Two, if you do actually have on, you know, a lot of light, like natural light, if it's sunlight coming in, or if you have, for instance, just like a really bright light and they're still having problems, it
Right.
could just be a faulty camera. Like your camera could be going bad if you've done everything like that, which cleaning the screen or cleaning the camera right up here. I would take just like a little rag or something that you even clean your glasses with and clean it.
Okay.
And if that doesn't do it, then I would say the next best bet, instead of getting a whole new computer, would be just to buy an additional webcam that you can get like from Amazon or Best Buy. I've seen some pretty good quality ones between like $20 and $50, depending upon the sales that's going on. And then you can connect that to your laptop and it'll be a mobile piece, but that should then allow you to get a better picture.
Okay, and so there's no settings or anything you can go to make that brighter.
Yeah, usually because on most computers that I work with, they have a setting where you can lower or raise the brightness of the screen, brightness itself, but that won't do anything for you. What's coming out of that camera, you could essentially find out what type of camera you have on that computer and see within the settings of the camera if you can raise the brightness, but it wouldn't be that button. It would be trying to alter the settings of that camera itself. So maybe you can look up the model number of the computer that you have and see if you can raise that up if, you know, adding more light doesn't, you know, work for you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, you're very welcome.
Okay, so Jill had a question. How do I delete apps on my Android phone?
Okay, deleting apps on your Android. Basically, what you're gonna do is press and hold the app, Jill? I'm just looking for you. That's why I'm looking all over the place.
Okay, let me just get an app up. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, wait 1 second. Sorry.
Sure, no problem.
Okay. When I press it, it goes, oh, select item, remove from home, uninstall. I got it now, but usually I can't when I try to do something.
Yeah, it's probably only gonna work when you're on the phone with me. That's how it always works.
Okay, thank you so much, Julian.
All right, no problem.
Appreciate
Jill.
it.
You're welcome.
Okay, that was, there we go. And I see that Cheryl wrote in that she would like to add a background, but doesn't have a green screen. I'm working on a MacBook. So that was a question that came from
Yes.
Cheryl.
Yes, hi. Yeah, I'm working on a Mac and I tried to add a background for my Zoom meetings. And it kept saying that I needed a green screen. And I'm not sure how to do that, or if I really do need to do that.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, Cheryl. I'm just looking for you on here. With
I just have my name up. I don't have my picture.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, so you're trying to just add a virtual background is what you're saying?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Let me see here. Let me share my screen. So normally when you would go on add a virtual background, would you go to like the video down here on my bottom right?
Yes, that's where I go.
And then you go here?
Uh-huh, I'm gonna do it like right now.
Okay.
Choose a virtual background.
Now,
and
do
then
you
it
see all these
says-
same virtual backgrounds that we have here?
Yeah, I
You
don't
probably
have
don't
a
have
green
all of them,
screen
but
and
you
I
probably
tried
have a
to add
few.
it. And it says, I need a green screen. Your device requires a green screen to support virtual background.
Okay, how old is your Mac?
Well, it's about 5 years old. It's a MacBook Air.
Hmm.
It's about 5 years old.
Yeah, that's weird. I haven't encountered that message because I mean, the green screen, you would literally have to just buy one of those green screens that'll go behind you,
Uh-huh.
and from Amazon. But I would maybe have. When was the last time you've updated your Zoom?
Oh, about 2 months ago.
I would try to update first, maybe after this phone call, and
Update
just see if you can
again?
replicate it, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, because normally when you want to just go here, I haven't had, and this is my computer, and
Yeah, I
I've
was
worked
trying
on
to do that San Francisco thing and I got that message, yeah.
Yeah, I would try to now. You don't see like the video filters and the avatars, right?
Right.
Okay. I would try to update because depending upon your operating system, right? And even if it's
Mhm.
5 years old. So what we're thinking about right now is the physical components in order to do what Zoom is allowing us to do. So if physically you have the video card, the memory, all of that stuff that Zoom needs to do this, because it takes a lot of computing power to throw this in the background, keep me talking and you being able to see me and me talking to you all. So I just want to make sure if you do an update, and then after that update, kind of do a restart on the computer itself, to see if that will kill that message and allow you to do what I'm doing right now. And if not, perhaps they're requiring just a little bit more when it comes down to the physical components, like the memory, like not probably the hard drive, but more the memory and the processor. There should be something that kind of give you some direction as to how that should go. But I would start with that update first before you go out and buy a green screen.
Okay, great, because I'm not gonna go out and buy a green screen.
No, it's not worth it.
Okay, I will try that. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome.
All right, take care.
So
as
Diane
well.
B had a question regarding wallpaper, not really the background, but do I have to be in a Zoom meeting to add wallpaper on an iPad? And how do I incorporate wallpaper from online to my iPad?
Oh, I was just trying out that.
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Okay, hey Diane, how's it going?
Good, thank you.
All right, so hang on.
Yeah, this is
So,
on my iPad. I do everything, like 99.9% stuff is on my iPad.
okay, so you're saying like the wallpaper, like just on the iPad screen, or like when you
On
first
Zoom,
open it?
on Zoom.
So background.
The
Oh,
background.
okay, got
Thank
it.
you.
So background. Yeah, so no, you should be able to add. I've never tried it I've only done it while on Zoom, and they've all stayed there. I'm gonna
Can you
actually-
do it? Do you have to be in a Zoom meeting
No,
to change the background?
no, you just have to start the meeting as if you're going to host your own meeting, pretend. And then it'll let you go in and Julius, if you want to share the screen and like when you're doing it, like before you get on a call, if you want to check your lighting and stuff.
Yes.
Meaning she doesn't have to be on an actual call. She can just do it as if she's pretending to host in a sense. But he'll show you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let me see here. I've only done it while in, but that.
No, so if you go like, well, I guess on your screen, I don't know if you can show Zoom because we're on Zoom. Can you do that?
Yeah, you know what? I could do it from my iPhone.
Okay. Yeah, just pretend like
So-
new meeting. You would click new meeting. And
Right.
that's like as if you're going to start a meeting. So start the meeting. And then
Okay.
now, once you start the meeting, you go into,
More? Yeah.
yeah, and then you go into backgrounds. It should come
Oh,
with
okay.
backgrounds
There
and
we go.
effects. And then you should have all
Nice.
your, whatever you have would come up on your, whatever you'd like to set.
So what about, let's say if you, like, in other words, I saw somebody's background, like he was on a beach, which I was, but I wish I was. But at any rate, if I wanted to get some kind of like background from, let's say, would be Safari, where it would show somebody on a beach, how do I do that?
So what you would have to do is you have to save that photo. So
Okay.
essentially you would go to, let me just end this here.
Well, like Zoom does have a beach, like Susan always has, right now she doesn't, but she usually always has the beach and the palm tree swaying. It is a Zoom background. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if
Yeah, but
yours has it.
is it on her computer, or is it on her iPad?
Susan, is it on, how do you get your, there it is. What are you putting that on as a, you're on mute. Hang on.
On my laptop.
Yeah.
See, it's sort of laptop where.
Yeah,
I
mine comes
think-
on my iPad because that's a Zoom, that's part of Zoom. But there you go. Julius will show you how to just
Okay,
take this.
thank you so much.
Yeah, so what I normally do is, and just for the record, we're going to be going over this again in our Zoom class, and we'll go over this again as far as the background. It's a big topic. But if you want like a nice beach background, let me actually stop this. Let me change my background back. And we're going to just say none. Okay. So now, as I share this one here, there we go. So if you just do a quick Google search, you can just go on Safari, go to Google, beach background, whatever type of background, mountain background, cityscapes, and you find something that you like. So let's do this guy here. I like this one. So in order to save it on an iPhone, I can press and hold this picture here.
Right. It says
And
add
then-
to photos.
And you add to photos, and now
Correct.
it goes into that little photo bank on your Photos app.
Yes.
So the next time you go onto Zoom, let's do exactly the same steps. So I'm going to start a new meeting, start. And once I go into here, that was the last background that I had, so it stayed there for me. I'll go to more, backgrounds and effects, and then I'll hit the plus button here. It'll take me into all my images, and then at that point, I'll go here. So now I have that photo, and I'm like, yep, that's the one I want. I hit done. So now I have my background.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Makes life easier.
There
Yes.
you go. So now Julie had asked, do I have to have a Samsung account and a Google account to use my Samsung smartphone?
Hey, Julie, where are you? I'm
Okay,
looking.
I just turned on my camera.
Okay, okay.
Right.
So, you don't. And I can't stand that you would even have to ask this question. It's very confusing because I just went over this with someone, and they went to the Samsung store and they were told that they needed the Samsung Cloud and all of this jazz because they had Samsung phones. In addition to that, all the Google stuff. So their stuff is being backed up here and there and all of these different places. And they're like, it's very confusing and it's unfortunate. So it's my only gripe with Android phones. And I say Android because Android can be connected to Google, to Samsung, to, you know, all of these different companies, and everybody's vying for your information. So I think you could have a Samsung account, but what I would say is back up your stuff to Google, because I think it's a lot easier to use Google Photos and to access it. In addition to that, with the contacts and so forth. Otherwise, I've seen and I've always had to go and grab things that are duplicated in different places. And I usually make the glue Google. So if you have an Android phone, I think Google is the best glue to keep everything syncing. Your contacts, your calendars, your photos, your browsing history. Like the other lady, I forgot, maybe it was Helen, who asked about her passwords, her favorites or bookmarks. I think Google will be the best bet. So you can have a Samsung account, maybe to just start your account and register your phone so that there's a record that you bought it. And if you have some type of agreement with them, so should anything go wrong in a year, you'll at least have that, but make Google your glue to keep everything syncing.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Barbara Waldron, go ahead.
Yeah, Julius, excuse me. I had two questions, but somehow one of them got answered, and I don't know how come, because I recently had my computer was hacked or something, and I'm with Best Buy, so they tell me to bring it in. And I brought it in. They said they watched the computer. So today when I tune in, my name wasn't showing up. It was showing owner, but now since we're talking, I see my name appear.
Oh, we changed it.
Oh, you changed
Yeah,
it?
the ghost of my, yes, because we know who you are and it said it. So you were
I
probably
thought
like,
it-
oh my God, like that's mental.
I thought it was Julius's voice and heard why it just changed.
No,
I'm working
like
on that
we know you,
technology.
so we put your name on because most people can't rename when they're on here.
Yeah, I was hoping somebody
safety.
recognized it's me because it said owner, you know?
Oh, no, we recognize you for sure.
Well,
So
thank
we
you so-
changed it.
Thank you so much. Okay, so my next question is, since I got it back, the volume is on 100, but I can hardly hear anything, you know? And I don't know how to fix that. Like on my service on Sunday, I try to listen to it and I could hardly, my ears up to the computer and I could hardly hear.
So your volume is at 100 and you can't hear?
Hardly.
Let me just see here. Let me see here. And do you have Windows 11?
Windows 10, I believe they must upgrade it to Windows 11. They said they watched the computer.
Okay.
Something they did, I don't know, but I'm not hearing anything since I got it back. Very, very low.
Yeah, I would try to go to the because if it's at 100, normally that should control your speakers. What you could do is you can go to maybe even troubleshoot it to see if it can
All the
fix
time my
it.
phone is gonna ring. One second. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Here, I'm gonna send you a link and you can go through this. This is basically, it's the step-by-step. Oh wait, can't see it here. Yeah, I'm unable to send it to you right. Let me see if I could click on you. Okay, yeah, I'm unable to send it to. What I would suggest, if you go into your settings,
Yeah.
and once you're in your settings in the home, there should be in the update security.
Yes.
Update and security section, that icon, there's a troubleshoot option. And you could troubleshoot, like find and fix problems with playing sound and see if that, and run that troubleshooter, and it'll kind of run your computer and offer any type of fixes or enhancements, anything that it sees, if it sees that it's broken. If it's a software related issue, that could resolve it. If it doesn't, another thing you could do is just restart your computer and see if that fixes it. And if not, I would take it back up to Best Buy and let them know that, you brought your computer in and it was working properly. And since you've gotten it back, the volume is low. Because if there's something physically wrong with your speaker, then it's going to have to be, a physical repair.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome, Barbara.
All right, Nancy and John, I see you there. If you want to unmute, you have a question. Hold on.
Are you talking to me, John?
Nancy, 1 second, John, I'm going to get to you next. I have Nancy and John right there. It's just John Matson. We'll get to you right after Nancy and the other John.
Okay. Julius, I had a question just on streaming.
Yes.
You hear a lot about it. We've not tried it, but currently got our television and local TV and television programming through Uverse, AT&T, and cable, of course. And we have the recorders.
Yeah, they're having
Hey,
a little technical.
you cut out for me.
Yeah, something happened with their internet.
But explain streaming. How do you stream?
So
Okay,
John,
hey,
you're breaking up a little bit. Do you hear him, Julius?
not really. I just heard the last part explain streaming, and I
Yeah.
know that you have Uverse.
And I'm trying to figure out how
Yeah, it's breaking up.
stream. And can you
Um,
stream and as well as Uverse? Is it a choice of one or? Let me change back to another room, what's closer to the modem. And
Okay.
maybe that'll, come back to us in a little bit. We'll make a move.
Sure.
We'll make a move.
Okay.
And then we'll see if you can hear.
Okay, so
Sure.
we'll pick up on John Matson. I see you have a question. You continue. Did you see that question, Julius? I continue to evaluate, holding on. Do you see it?
Oh, yeah, okay. Laptop. It's the only reason I would replace it because what would you recommend I upgrade to? Okay, yeah, so John, I would not with your old computer. I have seen computers slow down even more upgrading to Windows 11. I can't tell you how slow you would go. But you say you have a 1 gig disk drive, like
Yeah.
you mean, yeah.
Yeah, let me amplify it because it's a drive that I can hear moves at times, and I'm
Okay.
usually waiting on it. And my question really is that if I went to a solid state, like a flash drive versus
Sure.
that, would that be worth the money, and would it give me an opportunity to speed everything up?
Yeah, I mean, you will see a difference with a solid state drive. I would say if you're gonna upgrade the solid state drive, upgrade the memory as well, because the processor, if you start to upgrade the processor, the memory, and the drive, then I would say just kind of invest that into the newer technology, a newer computer. But with a solid state drive, if you upgraded that, you should, I would say, see a difference. If there's no other issues with any other physical components, a solid state drive is going to be a better experience, which is why all computers now are coming with a solid state drive and not with the moving disk parts. So, and if you could upgrade the memory as well, if you have like 4 gigabytes or 8 gigabytes, perhaps bumping that up to 16 in conjunction with it, you would definitely get more life out of it for sure.
I have 16 already.
Okay, so if you got 16, upgrading to solid state drive, without seeing it, I would just tell you should see a difference. And it depends on how much space you're gonna buy. If you get a terabyte, they're not as expensive as they used to be. So you could probably get a terabyte. I know terabyte external drives you can get for $100 now. Internal, you can go on like a crucial.com or any one of those websites that offer that to see how much it will cost. In addition to that, reaching out to a company that can physically install those parts and do the data transfer.
Yeah, you just mentioned something that tickled my my memory of what I put in there. I said I had a gigabyte. It is a terabyte drive.
I figured that. No, I knew what you meant. Yes.
And just an idea, what's a reasonable price to have all that done?
I would say, so depending upon the drive, let's just say the drive is about, $200. Depending upon how much data you have, some companies will do that transfer for like another $250. So you might be at, it could be between $300 and $500. or it could, but I haven't seen anything down here less than 300. But depending upon where you are, it could go up to 500. With that amount of money, you could consider just, again, applying that to the next computer and then riding that out for the next 6 or 7 years that'll come with that solid state drive. Now, if you get something with 16 gigabytes, a solid state drive that's like a terabyte, you might be paying around like $1,200 or more for that laptop, unless you
Right.
get a desktop. Yeah.
And I guess I can bring down the cost of you doing the new drive. I have an external drive where I back up all the data that I need. So I could just go and have them put in the new
Put
drive.
in the drive, and then you could just transfer your data yourself and then just, manually move it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot for the information.
Oh, you're very welcome, John.
Okay, so Nancy and John, the other John, I think did you fix the technical difficulty there?
I hope so. I moved
Okay.
to a different room and hooked up on
Yep.
the line, but we'll see
Yes.
what happens.
We hear you. Go ahead.
So going back to the beginning, I'm just trying to understand streaming. We currently have our television programming and local through Uverse. I'm not aware of how to stream. How do you set up streaming to work on your television? So whatever you could explain would be helpful. Thanks.
Sure. Yeah, great question, John. This is something that we get into a lot. I've done it personally so many times, but the most recent one was about 3 weeks ago, where, for lack of a better term, he had a dumb TV. Okay, it wasn't a smart TV, or not so smart TV, we'll call it. And I said, hey, let's get this Amazon Fire Stick and let's just smarten it up a little bit. And so when we plug that Fire Stick in there, essentially we're making that TV smart. A lot of these TVs now that you buy will have this smart component, which smart just means that now you can stream. So what streaming is that, imagine, for instance, these companies such as Netflix, such as HBO Max and Amazon Prime Video and Apple TV, all of these different companies are now, they have all of these movies. So instead of they know that there's no Blockbusters anymore for us to go to and physically pick out a DVD or VHS. So now they're just kind of posting it, or they save it on all of these different drives all around the world, so that you can use either a smart TV, an Amazon Fire Stick, a physical Apple TV, Google Chromecast, a Roku, and then you can tap into that world. And the only way you can get into that world is if you pay to play. So you pay $9.99 or $15.99 for Netflix, any of these different channels, whatever their cost is. So you have an account with them, and now you have been given a ticket for, like, instance, Netflix, to watch whatever you want to watch. So if you have a TV, John, where it's not so smart, and you just buy one of these little components to plug into the HDMI port that you have on there, then you would basically do the setup there, connect that device to the internet. And it seems like you have some internet issues with Uverse. I would definitely either do it closer to the modem like you just went to right now, or buy a different router that will spread your signal throughout your house a little bit stronger, so that if it is in a different room, like where you two just were, and you're not getting the best signal out there, you would then have a better router, and you would get this Fire Stick, Roku, Apple TV, whichever one you want to buy, and then you would connect that to the internet. And then once you connect that to the internet, then you would have to make the hard choice, and I'm seriously saying this, as to which station you want to subscribe to. Some people have Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, HBO Max, Showtime, Cinemax, and they're paying all of this money, and they're like, well, I cut the cable and I wanted to save more money, and now I'm spending more money. Disney Plus, and you keep on going. So my suggestion to you is, I'm a big fan of free stuff. I don't know about all of you all, but we get Disney Plus for free through one of I think a credit card or something. I make my wife pay for the Netflix, so I get to watch that for free. Maybe it's not for free, but then the Amazon Prime, we actually have that. But if I had to pay for all of these, I probably wouldn't. Maybe I would go with the Disney Plus because I like National Geographic for $4.99. But I would say choose the one. But if there's a show that you like to watch on one of the stations, or one of your friends told you to watch, this really popular show, the cool thing about it is you could subscribe to HBO Max for 1 month for $9.99 and then kill your contract and then go for it 6 months later. Or if you already have Prime, you're going to get it no matter what. So I would just say choose wisely as to what you want to watch. All of them have different things that you could watch, and some of them have the same things you could watch, but they all have unique content. Netflix are creators of their own show, HBO Max, Apple's getting in the game, Prime is getting in the game. So just choose the physical component that you would like to stream to connect to those, and then choose the different channels that you would like to pay for as well.
I do have just another additional question. Mm-hmm. Both the TVs that we have now are smart because they're relatively 2 years or younger. When I use the remote that came with the TV and turn it on, it will show, Hulu and some of the other names. But I've not paid attention to it because I just quickly transferred over to, the other cable channel and just went with the Uverse and the remote that powers that system. So going back to the TV and the original remote, how do you get the, like those symbols to say Hulu and Netflix? How do you sign up?
So I would sign up on your computer and then go there and just sign in. It's easier to sign up on your computer, put in your credit card, use your keyboard and type it all in, get signed up, username. When it comes down to these streaming channels like, Netflix or whatever, make a simple password because you may have to enter that on the TV and you're going to be playing crazy all day trying to get it in there. And then go to the TV and sign in. So how to get it up? There should be like a home button or a smart apps button or something like that to bring up those apps that come at the bottom. You press that and then you should be able to toggle over with the arrows to get to those said channels, if you will. Okay. Once you get there, then you click on it. They're making it a lot easier where when you do go to Netflix, let's say you signed up for the account on the computer, sign in, remember the password, because then there's an option of you kind of toggling all through, putting in your email address and your password. May take you a couple of minutes. Or they'll give you a link to say netflix.com/mytv or something like that. You would go to that URL on your computer and just input the number. And they give you all these directions. You don't have to remember what I'm telling you, but they're making it easier for you to be able to sign into that particular channel. Okay, thank you very much. All right, you're welcome, John.
So Ken has a question that he recently installed a AAA app on his phone, I believe. But when he tried to use one of the features, he was told that there was nothing close to him. He enlarged the map and found out that he was located off the African coast near Nigeria, but he is not there. So he tried to reset the location and continued to show the Atlantic Ocean, but he does note that there are other features that do show his location correctly. So there's like one portion of the app, so it might be something with the app, I'm not sure, but one is showing him totally in a different location and one is showing him correct. Correct, is that correct, Ken?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Ken, what type of phone do you have?
Samsung 21 5G SE or something like that.
Okay.
Hold on. About phone. Okay, it says Galaxy S21 FE at 5G.
Okay, so yeah, most of them, if you were to go into, I would check so in every, on Apple as well as Android phones, you you have your phone is letting off an IP address, basically giving out your location, your geolocation. So whenever you start a new app, sometimes it'll pop up and say, hey, do you want to share your location with this app? Do you want to allow this app to use your location? If for whatever reason it's not using a proper location, one of the things you could do is go into the app. The settings on your Android, and then go into the app permissions. And once you get into the app permissions, they should give you like the location settings. So you could allow certain apps to use your location or some apps not to use your location. If you go in there and you actually see the AAA app and it's not using your location, obviously you want it to use your location while using the app. Or there's a way that you might be able to reset it. You can always like press and hold the app, delete the app, go back to the Google Play Store and re-download the app just to see if that like kicks it around and make it work. But it just seems like that location is off for that particular app, unless you're having that issue with other apps as well.
No, everything else seems to be working fine. And even within the AAA app, if I wanted to find a restaurant, no problem. But if I go to check for gasoline, it says I don't have anything nearer than 3,000 miles. Because then I take the map and I keep going down until I see where I am, and I'm in the Ghana Bay, and between Ghana and Nigeria. And so I went back and I reset my location, and it still put me back there. And I'd wondered if my app had been hijacked or something. If I turn off my computer and bring it back on, does that ever affect the apps that you have installed? Like
On
reset them or something?
You mean if you turn off your phone, or if you turn off your computer, if that messes around with your phone?
Both, actually. I turned off my phone is what I did. And then I was trying to use my computer, but I tried many ways to try and reset my location, and I kept putting in the zip code, and then I put in the name of where I wanted to be. And then I'd go to check, find gas near me, and it put me out in the Ghana Bay. And I thought, I don't understand that.
Yeah,
Nigeria
say,
made me wonder if I'd been hacked.
Yeah, no, it's a possibility you can without seeing your phone, but what I would say is just deleting the app completely and then adding it back to your, reinstalling it from the store.
Okay.
So if you remove it and then add it and kind of start from scratch, that'll at least, get us to a place where we know that that you don't have the proper app, but you kind of just start from scratch. And then, answering your other question, your computer and your phone are separate entities. They could sync up and do a lot of things together, but you turning off one device should not affect the other device. When you want to restart the computer, that's for whatever reason, just do the computer and then the phone itself. So I would remove the app completely and then re-add it and see if it can actually populate your location the proper way for the gas, because if it's popping up right for the restaurants, and I don't have the AAA app to try to replicate it, I don't know why it's not popping up for the gas stations as well.
Yeah.
Maybe you could check your account settings to make sure that, just to ensure that the address is added properly. But again, I like to start from scratch with this stuff. We're completely removing the app, reinstalling it, and then just sign into your account and just go from that particular spot and see where you
Sounds
end up.
good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Ken.
Okay, so I see Stan, I mean, it's coming up as Stan, but I see you have your hand up, but I do see that you had a question in here from earlier, use Chrome tablet and want to know how to type Spanish accent marks or vowels and a tilde on an N without changing my keyboard from English to Spanish. Can you please tell me how to do that?
Okay, so this is not that it's hard, it's just different on every keyboard. I actually helped a neighbor with this last year, and he, for whatever reason, his system was just a little bit different, and he has a PC as well. So what I would say, let me just Google
So it's
it.
basically, I mean, I know it's on any keyboard, it's holding down the letter and then it pops up.
Yeah, so but on his, that's what I'm normally used to on a lot of PCs and Macs, and it did not work. So we had to and then he asked me again like 2 weeks later, which I forgot, and I had to re-Google it. It was different. It was weird. And I'm like, man, I've never seen that before, but this is how you do it. We practice it. Let me see here. How to get the Spanish on Acer.
So if you, I know you're on a tablet, but when you hold, if you held down the N or an E, let's say, if you just held it, your finger on it, does any E's pop up with like the accent marks above it or the N's? Because that's on a phone or on a computer or on my iPad, it happens. I don't know about that Chrome tablet for sure, but I don't know if you want to unmute, if you can try maybe just by pushing that, by holding your finger on that button, like the N, let's say, it should come up where there's a tilde. It gives you the option to.
Yeah.
You're still on mute. If you want to unmute.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, it doesn't show the accent mark. It'll just be N, or on my iPhone, it's terrific. You just go on my Apple phone. It's so easy. If they had that on the computer or something similar. But once I change and put it on the Spanish keyboard, then when I go to type the text, everything is mess up.
Right.
It totally changes everything. You can't just type text.
So it's that Chrome tablet, Julius, it's the Chrome tablet, because she could do it on her iPhone. She knows, she understands how to do that, so.
Okay, yeah, this is what I found on the Chromebook, and let me just blow this up a little bit. Just setting your keyboard, because normally that's how I get it on my iPad and my iPhone, and it's easier on the computer. But these are what I did was, you can actually Google this. I don't expect for you to write this down, but to be able to switch to different keyboards, you would have to add that keyboard language. And then under language and inputs, once you have that keyboard in there, then you'll be able to switch in between those. And let me see, add in accent marks. Let me see if there's something simpler. Yeah, this is the same. It's taking you to the same spot. So I would say if you go to Chromebook keyboard language and special characters help, then you'll be able to get this little list of steps to take to add that accent mark.
Okay, so you want to try that? I guess we should try that. Edwina, if you want to unmute.
Yes, hello, Julius. Thank you for taking my call. I'm not on the screen because I don't have my makeup on. It's 4 o'clock in New York, and anyway, real quick, because I really appreciate you taking this. Last week I was on a Zoom call. Okay, and there were 20 people on, and we were at an alumni board meeting. The president didn't necessarily agree with everybody. And I don't think that this matters, but I just want to say it's part of the scenario. So she sent us another text from a big organization for us to read. And now every time I turn my computer on and go into my emails and go into, all my emails, this message keeps flashing, and it keeps flashing like for 5 minutes, and I can't get it off.
And what type of message was it? Was it a like an email message or?
An email message from another organization that she sent out to all the members.
And so you deleted this message, but you're saying that every single time you get on your computer, it goes to this message?
Yes, yes. And it keeps flashing, I can't get it back off. Like I
Hmm.
can't go into another Zoom meeting without that flashing there. And then I actually have to turn off the computer totally and hope that it doesn't come back.
So this is only happening when you start another Zoom meeting or every time you check your email?
Every time I check my emails.
And the message itself is like an email message, but like when you go into, it's in your inbox or?
So when you turn it on and I go to get my emails, that
Mhm.
starts coming up. That's the first thing that comes up. Is
And
that
how do you-
email?
Yeah, how do you get your emails? Do you go to like Yahoo, Gmail, AOL?
AOL.
Okay, and then so you go to AOL.com or you click on a bookmark that's,
It's a picture of a mail, and I click on there, and then my emails come up because I have an Apple computer.
Okay, Apple computer. But then when do you go to Safari first or?
No,
to
when I turn my computer on, the banner is down at the bottom, and I just click on the picture with the email. But the first thing I get up now, instead of that list of all of the emails that I received today, it's that email keeps flashing in front of me.
Okay, so you're using a little envelope icon to get your email.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So one of the things that if you've deleted them, and I'm just taking a guess right now, I use Apple Mail as well. And the way it works sometimes, if that email is, if it was pulled up a few times or whatever, one of the things you could do is just completely quit out of mail. Like actually I would do this. If you go up to the Apple and you hit, let me just share my desktop. If you go up to the little Apple right up here, you see this to my top left, and you go restart.
Okay.
This thing is normally checked. It says reopen Windows when logging back in.
Right.
You want to uncheck it just like this, so it's blank.
Okay.
And then I would hit restart after you uncheck it.
Okay.
And then when the computer restarts and it comes back on, it may say, hey, you had some stuff up. Would you want us to bring those things up again? You want to say, I forgot the exact messaging, but you want to do the opposite of yes, because I forgot how exactly they worded. I haven't done it in a while. I just know what to click.
Okay.
But it should, I think it's cancel so that you could just have a fresh start. And then that in turn should allow you to just go back into your computer as though it's, you haven't opened it in a while, open up your mail icon, and hopefully that message doesn't come up. Now, if it does, I would try to find and hunt down that message to see where it's at, because if it's just an email, you should be able to delete it. And once you delete it, you should never see it again. That's the whole purpose behind deleting. And if you are seeing that message still, I would love to see that. Maybe you could take a picture of it. You could send it to My Health Angel. They could forward it over to us, or just send it right to Julius@nerdalert.com. I would love to see that, because only time I've seen that is if it's still populating. It's kind of like in the memory. So once you do this restart, it's like a hard refresh.
Right.
That should kind of give you a fresh start.
Okay. I will try that. And just one other quick message. I live, question. I live near LaGuardia Airport.
Okay.
And several of my friends, and we're all of the younger generation, but we were on Social Security, but all of our emails have slowed down. I mean, all of the internet has slowed down. I mean, tremendously. And is there something that it could be affecting it that's coming from the airport? Or, I mean, we all don't have the same age computers, but everybody's complaining about, it takes so long to get into the internet.
It could, but I would say more than anything, it could be the internet service provider, the ISP. So depending upon who you have, that could be the one that's affecting it. Like Nancy and John mentioned earlier about them having UVerse. I know down here in Florida, at least where I am, Comcast is faster than UVerse. UVerse is very slow, and I get more people complain about AT&T's internet versus Comcast. If they're complaining about Comcast, they're probably talking about their customer service. But AT&T, they usually have great customer service and the speeds are slow. So I would reach out to maybe your internet service provider and just say, hey, maybe you want to get a gal here to come and take a look at my internet. I'm moving like a slowpoke, dial up, I'm paying for X amount of speed. And if they come out there and see that it's their service, then maybe they're working in the area, who knows? But more than likely, it's probably gonna be the internet service provider that's probably causing that issue.
Right, it's Verizon.
Yeah, and it could be. I know Verizon is pretty fast in a lot of spots, but I would certainly give them a call and just say, hey, how much speed am I paying for? And then they say, well, you're paying for this. Well, they'll have you run a speed test and you'll say, well, I'm only getting this. And they'll say, well, it could be your computer. It's like, well, no, we're all having these issues. Or I tried from different devices and it's the same exact thing. Can you send one of your techs out here? And if they find that it's actually them, perhaps, they can run that test. But speed tests actually don't lie. You can all go to speedtest.net to look at your internet speed. And I'll just show you all at speedtest.net. This is one of the many. Google has one. You can run an internet speed test. And once you do that, it's going to tell you who my provider is, Xfinity, which is Comcast. Going to tell you the ping. This is all stuff you just don't want to ping higher than 20. I don't like pings that high because that means that you're going to get like some slow speeds. But if you want to check your download and you want to match that up to what you're paying for. If you're not getting what you're paying for, these numbers here, that's when you want to, complain and ask for some money back or have them come and fix it.
Okay, thank you so much, Julius. This is the first time I've asked a question, but I've gotten $1 million worth of knowledge just listening to you. And enjoy.
I'm so happy, so happy.
So Chris had a question. When they click the link to join Zoom meetings, sometimes the connecting timer spins and eventually times out with a message that says unknown error and click here to join from browser. Joining from the browser results in a harsh image of me that is reverse mirrored. How can I ensure the Zoom will connect without having to join from the browser?
Okay, Chris, so you have the actual application downloaded on your device, your computer, or?
Yes.
Okay, and then you said when you click this particular meeting link, that's when you get that error?
Yes, it happened today. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen, but the timer goes and goes and goes, and then eventually it says unknown error, click here to join from browser. And I do that, but it's not the same experience. Everything's flipped in my image. I mean, I guess I could go in and say mirror my image to correct it. So it's mirroring a mirror, so it looks right. But I don't understand why it does it sometimes, and then other times I have the normal Zoom experience where I join it. Oh, and when I join from browser, I typically, not with this group, but typically I have to enter the passcode then. It won't just join automatically.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking up this error, particularly on Zoom, and there's other people that are obviously having this error. And what Zoom is recommending is there's a couple of things. It could be, are you joining from a PC or a Mac?
A PC.
Okay, so a couple of things. Either it could be an outdated version of Zoom, which they recommend you update.
Okay.
Or it could be, which what I thought when you first told me, like a networking issue, meaning that it's not connecting, like your network is oscillating. It connects to the
Oh.
internet, slow connection, and maybe some, because you said that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. When
Yeah.
you're not changing anything physically to your computer, not doing anything to it. So that just kind of makes me think like, hey, what other thing changes when you're not thinking about it? And that's your network, your internet. I just ran a speed test and when I had 300 down, I can run it again, I can have 500, or I can run it again, I can have 200. That changes without us looking at it. So that's another thing that you could look at to see if it's your network itself. But a lot of the times it could be the updates itself.
Okay, all right, I can handle that. I have spotty internet, so it probably is a network issue. And that's why it's happening sometimes.
And you know, one of the things you could try, like if you have a smartphone that has like connected to cellular and the cell towers, maybe as soon as you get that error before joining via the browser, try to connect on your phone really quick. And if that connects, then you're like, oh, okay, it must be my Wi-Fi network for my computer versus the cell tower for my my phone. So if you're able to get out on your phone, then it means that it could still be an update, but it also could be a network issue.
Okay, that's a great way to figure it out, to be a good detective. Thank you, Julius.
There you go. You're welcome.
Hello, Julius. This is Joyce.
Hey, Joyce.
Yeah, I put a message on at 4:02. You weren't on, but I sent it to Ashley instead. I'm sorry. And now it says chat disabled. So I wonder.
Yeah, I sent it over to Julius. I think.
Oh yeah, I did not see that, Joyce. That's my apologies. Let me read it right now. Let me see it. HP laptop. It says 8-digit number on router. I don't see anything that matches the Wi-Fi. Okay. So Joyce had mentioned that she got a new computer and she's trying to connect to her Wi-Fi. So when it says the 8-digit number on your router, that's not necessarily true. It depends on what your Wi-Fi password is. And let me ask you, so do you, what service provider do you have?
Bluestream.
Bluestream, okay. Now Bluestream probably provided you with a modem and or router, is that true?
Yes.
Okay, do you have anything outside of that other than what they provided you?
No.
Okay, so what I would say is that sometimes what you have on the back of those routers, they will give you the SSID or the name that's equivalent to the name.
Yeah.
And a password. Now, if you see that on the back where it says name, maybe / SSID.
Yeah, I got that.
Underneath that, they should give you a password or a key or something like that.
Yes, and it has a letter in it.
Okay, now if it has a letter in it, what you want to do, if that's the right password, if they never changed it from that default, you want to make sure you enter it in exactly how you see it. So if it's uppercase or lowercase, if you see an exclamation point, whatever you see there, it has to be proper.
Well, I got into my Android phone to get into the Wi-Fi password I have in my Android phone should be the same password for the router.
That is the same password. Yeah. So if you're connected to that Wi-Fi on your phone and that is the password, you should be able to enter that same password on your computer.
I enter it, but it doesn't accept it. It's more than 8 digits and it stops at 8 digits and I can't get the others in.
Okay, that's odd because the Wi-Fi password could be 300 digits if you could set it that way. So I'm wondering why it's stopping at 8 digits.
On the new HP.
So when you're connecting on your HP, you see what's your SSID? What is the name of your router?
I don't have that in front of me.
Okay, and you can find that out on your Android. Like for instance, and I say this to everyone because like here, I'll share my screen. Like here's the name of my SSID. It's called FBI Surveillance Team. And I literally, that's the name of it. And
Yeah.
so I would connect to that. And then if I wanted to, if someone came to my house and say, hey, Julius, I want to connect to your internet, I'll say, hey, the name of it or my SSID is FBI Surveillance Team. And then they would click on it. And then they would say, well, what's your password? I would then give them that password. So are you connected on the proper name of your network?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
On my Android phone now, I have the QR code, and I don't know if my computer man can look at that and tell the HP to accept it. I don't know.
So yeah, I would say maybe if you called up Bluestream, they would probably be able to help you to get exactly the password for your router. And if not, because if it wasn't changed, I know a lot of people will change that default password to something else.
Yeah, I think I did.
So if it wasn't changed, they can help you out. If it was changed, they can help you change it back to a default or a password that you would like.
All right, thank you. They didn't. I will persist.
Yeah, and just the one last thing, when you do that, just make sure that if you change your password to something else, make sure you connect all of the things that were connected before, because something may not work. And I see this time and time again where someone goes in and change it, and then the Ring doorbell's not working or something else is not working. So just make sure you put in that same password everywhere else.
Well, thank you, and sorry for my rudeness to.
No, you're not rude, not at all.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, Beverly, go ahead.
Okay, I have an Android Galaxy S7 phone, and I don't know what's going on with it. Every now and then when I'm on a phone call, I hear the Charlie Brown theme song. I didn't put that on there. I don't know where it's coming from. And it happens like every third phone call.
So wait, so you're saying that every time your phone rings, you hear the Charlie Brown?
No, while I'm talking on the phone, in the middle of the phone call, I'll just hear that. The people I'm talking to cannot hear it, only me.
And just a question, are you sure this is not in your head? I gotta ask. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I have to. No, I would say that maybe restarting your phone, like doing a hard reset, because the only other time I've seen that, and I say that as a joke because I made this joke with someone else about a year ago, a song was being pressed though she was on the phone. And I'm like, oh, it's your cheek that's pressing the song, but I had to play with her too. So don't take offense.
Okay,
and she literally, it was something that she was doing
and it
all the time.
It sometimes happens when I'm not even on the phone. The phone is just on the desk, and I'll start hearing the Charlie Brown theme song.
Oh my goodness. You know, I have to say, folks, I have never encountered this problem, and I wish I had an answer. Nothing like that. And without seeing it, it's hard to say where that song is coming from, because if there's an app on your phone that is playing this, like whatever it is, it's happening periodically every third, I will be looking for an app that doesn't belong. You know, maybe it's just a third-party app. You know, just kind of clean those out, because something is starting where you're not starting it yourself.
Is that something called a worm that someone put on my phone?
You mean like a virus type of thing?
Yeah.
It certainly could be. Absolutely. So one of the things I would try to get anything off your phone that is unfamiliar, that you are not aware of, and that you don't mind missing. If you're like, well, what's this app? If you have to say, what's this app? Kill it.
Kill it.
And then just start to go backward and say, all right, now I got everything that I said, what is this, off my phone, and I kept the good stuff on there. But at the same time, don't get rid of everything and say, what is this? Because it might be something that you actually need and you just don't know it.
Right.
So if you went down to like your like Verizon or Sprint, whoever you're with, and just kind of have them tell you the stuff that you need if you're not familiar with it. But if it looks like a game or something like that, get rid of it. You can
Okay.
always
Yeah.
re-download it.
All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome, Beverly.
So Julie Kramer, last hand, go ahead.
Yeah, this is quick. Assuming we're getting the speed that we're paying for, what speed do we need if we don't game and we don't download movies? You know, we do what we're doing now, like do
Yeah.
Zoom with you or listen
Sure.
to webinars and email and you know, that's about it. So what speed? We have the top Comcast speed and I don't think we need it.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times, just because you can go on the Autobahn doesn't mean you have to go that fast. You know, I think that where we are with the internet and where we're going, I think that between 30 and 50 megabytes per second is sufficient for most people. Download and upload, I would say about 10 to 15 is a good upload speed because we're doing mostly downloading. But with Zoom, we are uploading. I'm uploading all of this to you right now, but I'm downloading all of you to me. So, but the way Zoom has done it is that they're doing it in this way where it's sparsing it out to us so that my computer is not overloaded as well as yours. So I think that a sufficient speed would be 30 or 40. Now, on a bad day, Comcast or Xfinity, you're probably going to get like 75, maybe 100. They're way ahead of the game when it comes down to speed. So if you're paying for like a gigabyte, like, and it's really expensive, and I say a gigabyte, 1,000 megabytes per second, I would try to cut that in half or go lower. Full transparency, I'm paying $70 for 1 gigabyte, which is 1,000 megabytes. That's super duper fast. And I don't even use that much. So all I'm doing is, you know, we'll stream here and there, we'll stream some music, but I'm not doing anything major. I need that speed, but that's for right now. I don't need it. In the future, the way all the smart home things are connecting, that's when you'll really kind of take a chunk out of that speed that you're getting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So last question. So Frida was telling us about some scam that happened to her about Netflix getting a text saying that her account was closed, but her account is under her daughter's name. She went to her TV, her account was fine. You know, it was just a phishing, you know, that people should really be aware of because it was a phishing text.
Oh, that's
sure.
crazy.
Yeah, and we do always talk about the cybersecurity and always be very conscious and aware because she knew her payment was paid and it comes at the end of the month and it's on her daughter's account. So it would have not been connected with Frida at all, if I'm correct, Frida, right? And then it totally was fine. And it was just a phishing text. So as we always say, you got to be really read between the lines on those things.
It's crazy, Frida. Like I'm so glad, you know, all of you who join the calls, I love talking about security. And it's a great note to end on because I get all of these messages again, but not as much as you all. So whenever you have to think twice about it, like I got something from PayPal that was legit maybe about 2 months ago and someone was trying to hack my account. But what I learned from that is that someone actually got my password. There's no way of me policing my password in the dark web. So it can happen, even if you got one of those strong passwords. But I had two-step verification. And since PayPal is like one of these financial centers, they sent me an alert and I had to verify. And I did change my password, I always do, but I never click on those links, even though I know it's legitimate PayPal. And I went to paypal.com, changed my information like that. But I also get the fake texts. You can get the fake Nordens. You can get the fake Bank of Americas. You can get the fake IRS. All of these different things that are trying to scare you to be like, hey, you just closed your Netflix account. Thanks, you don't have to do anything else. You're like, wait, I can't binge watch anymore? Let me call these guys back. they're always trying to do something to get you to react at that very moment. So it's good that you know, and you have to check your bank account, check all of these different things to make sure, like, well, no, they just billed me like 2 days ago. That's not real. And then you can actually see that it's not real in the way in which they wrote the email or they wrote the text. So please don't fall prey to it. If you have any questions about that, and you don't have anybody that you can reach out to immediately, just reach out to us. If it's something that we can help you out with really quickly and say, hey, no, listen, Barbara, Frank, that's fake. Don't even mess around with it. Don't even ask questions about it. Walk away from it, because you're going to continue to get inundated with it. And with COVID and everyone being at home, everyone got spammed like 300,000 times more than what they normally would have because of this. Just everybody being on the internet. So just be very wary of that.
Yeah.